All right, on this graph for parallel and perpendicular slopes. On this graph, we are going to plot an ordered pair, and I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see it. The x-intercept is at 4. And the y-intercept is at 3. And if I label this point A, and I label this point B, can you tell me the slope of AB? And remember, slope is rise over run. So if I'm looking at AB, and let's extend it, carefully. Dean? Perfect. You go up 1, 2, 3, so positive 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4. So that's the slope of AB. I should put arrows on the ends of this because it's actually a line. And then I want you to put an ordered pair at eight, negative 9, and that's point C. And let's put an ordered pair at, let's see. Right here. That one. At negative 4. And that's point D. And we'll connect them. And let's find the slope for CD. Meaning, we start at C and we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I went backwards, so it's not 12, it's 9 over negative 12 can be simplified to what? Three over negative 4. These two lines are parallel. What's the definition of parallel? Who remembers? Isaac?
There's something like two lines that run next to each other but never cross.
Yeah, two lines that never intersect. Even if it's off by just a little bit, eventually they'll run into each other. They're intersecting lines. But parallel lines will never, no matter how far they're extended, parallel lines will never, ever, ever intersect. What can you tell me about the slopes of these two parallel lines? They're the same. Parallel lines have the same slope. Dylan, turn around and take notes, please. Parallel lines have exactly the same slope. Here's some geometry shorthand. Parallel is abbreviated by two lines like this, because they're parallel. All right, get ready to write down a whole bunch of stuff. By a whole bunch, I mean 6 equations. You can do it. Y equals 4/3 x plus 2. Y equals 6/2x plus 2. Y equals 8/6 x. Y minus 3 equals 3 parentheses x plus 8. Y equals negative 2x minus 9. Y minus 4 equals 10/-5 x minus 3. Six equations. Let's pair up, let's match which ones have the same slope. Which ones are parallel? What line is parallel to what line? There are 6 lines up there. Each line has a buddy. Chelsea, give me one pair. So, to find the slopes, right, or to do this, we have to identify the slopes, correct? What's this slope? 4/3. Can it be simplified, or is it ready? It's ready. What's this slope? 6/2, which is really 3/1, or just 3. What's this slope? 8/6, right? But it can be simplified to what? Do we have a pair? This guy goes with this guy. Because they both have the same slope. If you graphed both of them, they would be parallel to each other. Anna? Okay. So Anna says y equals negative 2x minus 9 is parallel to what? The last one, because 10 over negative 5 is really negative 2. So these two go together because they have the same slope. And last but not least, which ones go together? Because what's the slope here? 3. And what's the slope here? 3. Parallel lines have exactly the same slope. Graph number 2. All right, here's our next ordered pair. Point A is at 2, 3. And point B is at 3, 5. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Again, ordered pair A. The values are 2, 3. And point B is 3, 5. So let's find the slope of AB. The slope of AB is 2 over 1. Positive 2 over 1, correct? Yeah. Which equals 2. That's hard to see. Let me switch out. Right? 2 over 1, which is 2. All right, let's do the next ordered pair, which is right here. Point C. And point D, which is -4, +1. And then And let's find the slope for line CD. And the slope for line CD is 2 over -4, which is 1 over -2. Okay, so let's talk about the definition of perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines, or perpendicular, is defined as what? Who can remember? Perpendicular, what's it defined as, Anna? They intersect at what? It's very specific. What degree do they intersect at? 90 degrees. Right? Here's that corner. It doesn't look perfect. Perpendicular lines, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at their slopes. We have a slope of 2, or really 2 over 1. And our other slope is 1 over -2. Perpendicular slopes are opposite. If one's positive, the other one's negative. And they're reciprocals. Reciprocals. Opposite reciprocals. If one's positive, the other one has to be negative. Opposite. Reciprocal, you take one fraction and you flip it over. The numerator becomes the denominator, and the denominator becomes the numerator. Opposite reciprocals. Perpendicular is abbreviated like this. This is Molly. Yep. All right, so let's practice. Let's write the formula for perpendicular. If the slope is -3 and the ordered pair is 1, -4. Let's write the formula for perpendicular. If the slope is -3 and the ordered pair is 1, -4. So let's begin. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, correct? Let's substitute. Y, you can't see that. Y minus, what's the Y value? -4 equals, what's the slope? -3, but that's not what I want to do because I want perpendicular, correct? So instead of -3 over 1, what does it become? One has to be negative and the other has to be positive. And then they're reciprocals, so you flip-flop it over itself. 1/3 x minus, let's change this to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Instead of 1, make this the value 3. So x minus 3. We're not done. Y plus 4 equals, what's 1/3 times x? What's 1/3 times -3? -1. I'm almost done, not quite. Subtract 4 from both sides. Y equals 1/3 x minus 5. Let's talk one more thing really quickly. X equals anything is perpendicular to Y equals anything. If you have an x equals 3, someone give me an example of a perpendicular line. X equals 3, what's perpendicular to it? Y equals 3. What else is perpendicular to x equals 3? Y equals 7. What else is perpendicular to x equals 3? Y equals 8. Y equals 9. If it says x equals anything, any number in the whole wide world, how many answers are there for perpendicular? Infinite. X equals is perpendicular to Y equals. What's perpendicular to Y equals? X equals. What's parallel to X equals? This is Molly.